Analysts are expecting an enormous amount of growth from large companies, literally 5 times the growth rate of growth that we saw last year alone for the largest firms. This means a flood of new initiatives are hitting desks as companies look to meet these demands, and the risk of failure, specifically execution failure, failing to execute on these new ideas, is even higher now than it's ever been. Indeed, 61% of senior executives say strategies fail not because of how they're created or how they're funded, but how they're executed. Indeed, we estimate that unless companies address the strategy to execution gap, they're at risk of losing 50% of their potential cumulative cash flow on new growth investments. But in today's economy, steady state just is not an option. Organizations must grow and grow really aggressively. As a result, executive teams are now looking for new growth. That's growth outside of the core business, where you're taking the organization into new markets with new products and new customers. The core of our argument here is that companies need to unlock capacity in their organizations in order to execute and overcome this natural inertia that accumulates. The key word here, though, is unlock, which fundamentally means stopping one activity in order to pursue a new one. So what do? To unlock this capacity, we argue you need to look at the problem at 3 different levels, or 3 building blocks. Building block number 1, senior leadership team that must provide lasting alignment to the strategy itself. And lack of senior leadership alignment can be really, really costly. Indeed, where alignment exists, we see 39% better return on growth investments because the executive team is fully committed. Building block number 2, the individual business and functional executives whose job it is to not only set the strategy and goals, but to establish a license to kill. That's a license to kill projects, thereby unlocking the capacity that large organizations need to be able to execute. And finally, building block number 3, the frontline manager, who ensures that staff make critical behavioral changes and let go of the behaviors that were needed for past strategy, but hurt you when you're trying to adopt a new one. The idea here is that you can successfully kill projects at the executive level, but if legacy behaviors persist, capacity will be effectively trapped, meaning strategies ultimately fail. Together, these are 3 building blocks that enable companies to unlock critical capacity for executing new growth strategy. Continuous executive alignment, a license to kill projects, frontline managers ready to identify and remove legacy behaviors.